I love Adam Peters. Yes, I'm starting the video off like that because this man is simply dominating free agency with his secret philosophy, and a lot of people, including Washington Commanders fans, can't even see that. Adam Peters has significantly improved the Washington Commanders roster this offseason, and you wouldn't even be able to tell unless you're a diehard Washington Commanders fan and know what our needs are. With Washington on the cusp of going to the Super Bowl last year, just coming up a game short, and having all of the cap space in the world, you would have expected Washington to go out and get all of the big names to improve their roster this offseason. Well, I'm telling you, that's not what Adam Peters has done. A lot of Washington Commanders fans have been upset with Adam Peters' philosophy this offseason, or lack of getting big names, because that's all they want, that's all they're attracted to. But the reality of the situation is that money doesn't fix everything. You can throw big money at the big names, but that don't mean they're gonna come in here and ball. And us as Washington Commanders / Skins fans, we should know that from the past. And all I want to say is let Adam Peters cook, and his philosophy is secretly dominating the NFL. Let's talk about it.
The way that we live is not for everybody.
Nah, that ain't it, y'all.
How do you think the rest of Jaden Daniels' career is going to go? If we're, 6, 7 games into Jaden Daniels' career, and he's already milking injuries? Like,
nigga, stop saying my name, you dick riding bastard. I love the way she move it, shake it on me. When she cry for him, and shawty is the winner. You can tell that shawty's love again now, she's confident.
What's good, y'all? It's your man Juangotti here. Before we get into today's video, and as you guys do me a favor and subscribe to my fitness channels, I'm documenting my journey from fat to fit. Link down below in the description. Adam Peters, man, this guy is such a stud. Just look at him. That's my dog, Adam Peters. My dog, he gon' cook up for the squad. My dog, Adam Peters, Adam Peters, Adam Peters, Adam Peters, Adam Peters, Adam Peters. Hey, look, if nobody was gonna give him his flowers, I'ma be the person to do so, because AP has turned this squad over in just 2 seasons, and it has me super excited, man. Say his name down below in the comments section. So you're probably like, Juan, what's made Adam Peters so special this offseason, and what's this secret philosophy that you speak of? Now, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I don't necessarily think Adam Peters invented this way of free agency or going about spending the cap space money, but it's just in this day and age, you don't see many GMs operate like that. You see many GMs jump at the first big name that comes across their screen, and Adam Peters is simply not operating like that, even when it comes to re-signing his own. When you look at the players that we lost, there are 2 key players that stand out. It's De'Ami Brown and Jeremy Chin. I'm pretty sure they wanted those guys back, but they turned their nose up at the offer that we potentially gave them. You could add Dante Fowler to that list, because we offered Dante Fowler $10 million a season. He said, nah, I'm good. So I don't know what these players think they should be getting, but it's not worth what they think they should be getting. And that's simply Adam Peters' philosophy. It's not that we don't want these players back, but I'm not about to simply overpay for a guy that I don't even know is going to be able to do this on a consistent basis. Like, take De'Ami Brown for an example. Yes, he had a really good postseason, but if you're a Washington Commanders fan and ain't just turned into the postseason, you know all 4 years prior to that postseason breakout, he hasn't done nothing. So why would we simply overpay for production that we don't even know if that's going to be able to translate, or if you was just on a heater? And when it comes to Dante Fowler, you're coming off a really good year, double-digit sack season, but you've only had one other double-digit sack season in your career, and it's not like it's back-to-back seasons. No, that was from 2019, and you're 30 years old, so the trajectory isn't necessarily going to be going up. You're not getting any younger, and we offered you you $10 million a season. What more do you want? And when it comes to Jeremy Chin, he went to Las Vegas, $16 million a season. Go get your bread, Slim, but we not paying you that. We got Will Hurst, $8 million a season, and he's significantly better in both coveraging, and he's not afraid to come down and lay the boom. And if you haven't picked up by now, Adam Peters isn't geeking to spend all of the money this offseason, man. He's strategically spending it on players that we know is going to help us out this year. There you go. Are you listening? What's the key word I just said? This year. Adam Peters is doing things significantly different than it has been done in the past here. He's taking this roster and evaluating it year by year. I love that approach. I don't think I've ever had that approach led by a general manager in my Washington Commanders fandom. A team that assesses the roster yearly and doesn't tie yourself into long-term contracts with players that you know ain't gonna be consistent. I love that. Adam Peters is simply making players earn their contract extensions, and that's how it should be. The only people that are getting long-term contracts are the Terry McLaurin, the Sam Cosmes, the Jaden Daniels eventually, and a lot of these other draft picks that are just coming in, and maybe even like a guy like Quan Martin as well. But the cornerstone players are getting contract extensions, not these big-time free agents that we all want them to have, because it's just simply may not be financially smart. And for all the fans out there that are saying, hey man, we should have got DJ Reed, we should have got Mooney Wood, we should have got Javon Holland. Well, did you know Adam Peters is actually trying to get these guys, but they're just simply not picking us? When it comes to DJ Reed, he just came out and said it was down to the Commanders and the Detroit Lions, and he picked the Lions. So what more do you want Adam Peters to do? He can't force these players to come here. A lot of these players, like Javon Holland, who we rumored to have interest in, are picking money over team success and Super Bowl chances. A lot of these players, they talk out of the side of their neck, but they move to a different beat of the drum. They say, I want to go win. I want to go play for a contender. I want to go compete for Super Bowls, but chasing the bag and going taking an offer from the New York Giants instead. And again, I'm not upset at you for that, man. Go get your bag. But how can you talk and say you want to compete and go win Super Bowls, but then go to a team that's clearly not in a position to win a Super Bowl? Same with Myles Garrett. Obviously, we know we were the front runners to land Myles Garrett. He talked all this mess about how he would love to play for the Commanders and he wants to be in a Super Bowl and he just wants to win at this point, but then settles for $40 million, a year and stuff like that. But again, I'm not telling you to turn down $40 million because you're a fool if you turn that kind of money down. But essentially what I'm saying is Adam Peters is trying to get these star players here to please us and to help our team go to the next level, because clearly we know we need star players. It ain't like we can just have a bunch of Joe Schmoes out there, but they're just simply not picking us because Adam Peters isn't into overpaying for these guys. Hey Juan, we still need to sign an edge rusher. Why haven't we got an edge rusher yet, man? We ain't gonna get no pressure on the quarterback. Well, did you know Adam Peters has tried that as well? We had interest in Joey Bosa and DeMarcus Lawrence, but simply wasn't going to overpay for those guys. And they're 30 plus years old. They have a track record of being hurt all the time. So I agree with not overpaying for a Joey Bosa or DeMarcus Lawrence. We've also had interest in Milton Williams and Josh Sweat as a package deal, and they just wanted too much money. And again, I'm not mad at Milton Williams for winning $100+ million. I'm not mad at Josh Sweat for cashing in Arizona, but those guys just wasn't viewed that highly on Adam Peters' board. Of course, it's like we would love to have those guys, but we're not paying what these other teams are willing to give up. And again, I love that approach. Do not overpay for guys that you don't truly think is worth it, man. Now let's talk about Adam Peters' additions, because I simply think he has turned this roster over this year in a good way without having to attract all of the big names. And I first want to start with the defensive line room, because he has turned this defensive line room, specifically interiorly, over on his head, and I love it. One thing that a lot of people were crying about last year was that we didn't have no interior presence. We were getting the ball ran on us interiorly and on the boundary as well, but we were just soft in the trenches on the defensive line. Adam Peters took that note and he severely upgraded. I'm talking overkill. Well, as we know, one of the big splashes of our free agency is going to get Javon Kinlaw. And again, I know originally looking at Javon Kinlaw, it's like, man, he hasn't really done much, but that is a guy's trajectory that is going up. Adam Peters knows him, and he's still quite young, so he has a lot of veteran experience, but he's only 27 years old, and he's coming off of back-to-back years in which he played 17 games, and he's coming off the best year of his career, and we needed a defensive line help, and he's versatile, can play on the edge as well. I think this is a good chance that we're taking on a guy that could potentially be turning the corner. Adam Peters knows him from through and through because he was there when the 49ers drafted him, and he wouldn't take a chance on a guy if he genuinely thought he wasn't worth it. Clearly, look at how Adam Peters is operating this free agency. Another defensive line addition was Dietrich Wise from the New England Patriots, and a lot of Patriots fans were upset that they were losing him. They said that he's one of the best run stuffers that they had, and he's a guy that is a captain, so he's a good team player, and he also is bolstering the run defense. Man, come on, dog. Then you got Eddie Goldman, 31 years old, but he's a guy that we know is really solid, and he's a big body in that middle as well. So again, you add 3 new defensive linemen, and then you already got Deron Payne and Sheldon Day back up there, and Johnny Newton. Man, we've overturned the interior of this defensive line. There's no way we're getting ran on this year. Last year we were very soft in the middle, you know, with having guys like Jonathan Allen who are 200+ pounds at the defensive line room. Now we got 320+ pound guys, multiple of them in that middle, man, and I think it's gonna be a very tough time for some teams to try to run on us this year. And if Deron Payne can tap back into old Deron Payne and Javon Kinlaw comes in and them 2 guys play off of each other really well, that can be scary for when it comes to interior pressure, because those are the 2 guys that I think can create the most interior pressure on the squad. Now, obviously, let's switch gears more towards the big guys that we got. Deebo Samuel in the trade, which essentially kicked off this year's free agency. He's going to come in, and he's obviously going to be so good in Cliff Kingsbury's offense. And again, this is another Adam Peters guy that I don't think he would take a chance on if he didn't think Deebo Samuel could turn back to his old self. And I don't even have to wrap y'all up about Deebo Samuel. You really know how Deebo get when he's healthy and when he's used correctly. So we just going to wait and see what Deebo Samuel do this season. Now, going to Laramie Tunsil, the big trade that Washington made as well, adding a big body, one of the best offensive linemen in the league, to the left tackle position, upgrading Jaden Daniels' blind side. That was a big move. I don't care what they try to tell you about Laramie Tunsil. Oh, he's holding. Oh, he led the league in penalties this year. This, that, and the third, man. All that is mental. New year, new him. He coming to Washington with O-line Bobby Johnson, and he gonna tap right back into being one of the best left tackles in the game. And that is huge for upgrading the protection of your quarterback. That's something that we said we needed help with. What did Adam Peters do? He went out and got us one of the best linemen in the game. So that's 3 things Washington fans was upset with last year that we already addressed. The left tackle to give Jaden Daniels some protection. The defensive line room, Adam Peters has overly addressed that. And we got another weapon on offense as well. And continuing on, we got good guys like Andrew Wiley, who's taking a pay cut to stick around and help Washington get more money to bring in more free agents, or maybe extend a Terry McLaurin down the road. Like, we're doing everything the right way. And with Sam Cosmi potentially being out for half of the year, Andrew Wiley probably going to go to right guard, and Brandon Coleman may go to right tackle. And then if that's how the offensive line is going to look, man, that is killer, bro. Now it's time to talk about my favorite signing. That is safety Will Hurst from the New Orleans Saints. I'm going to go ahead and say that already. He's going to have a Frankie Louvu-esque impact on this defense this year. Remember, when we signed Frankie Louvu, a lot of people was on the fence about the move at first, but then now look at Frankie Louvu, a fan favorite. Will Hurst is a significantly better upgrade over Jeremy Chinn. Go back to my video that I made on him specifically a couple days ago. I broke down everything, but his stats are significantly better in coverage, and he's not afraid to get physical down below and hitting a big time running back like Saquon Barkley. And when it comes to the DB room, we added Jonathan Jones, who could be solid depth, and we brought back my guy Noah Igbenogany, who I think is going to be really good for the Washington Commanders for the future. He's a young guy, 25, 26 years old, and he's coming off of the best year of his career since being drafted in the first round by Miami. I love the move to add him back to the secondary Curry, and having a healthy Marshawn Lattimore, I think we're going to be fine back there. And I'm going to finish this video off talking about some of my favorite re-signees. Obviously, Bobby Wagner's back. Love that, bro. B-Wags was really good last year. Zach Ertz, he's back. I love that as well. John Bates, one of the best blocking tight ends in the NFL. He's back, and his role is going to be very key to the success of the running game this year. And obviously, my favorite re-signee of them all, Marcus Mariota, Slim. Mariota's back because he helped 5 out the most last year, and we know Mariota was very key to, you know, keeping Jaden Daniels level, showing him the ropes. One of the most iconic moments of last year's stand up, get your breath, catch your air, and go win us the game. Go use your God-given abilities to win us the game. And obviously, Mariota had the 2 games where he came in, and the jump with the Panthers where he was cooking, and then the Cowboys game where he threw the ball to Terry to win the game, man, and Terry broke the record. Like, Mariota was very key, Slim, I ain't gonna lie. And I know I didn't break down every single signee or departure in its full detail, because that's coming out a little bit later, but this video was simply made to just show you Adam Peters has been cooking. Although it's not all the big names that we probably wanted prior to free agency starting, his philosophy that he's going into it with has been good, and it's going to help this team be so successful this season, I'm telling you. So there you have it. Let me know what you guys think about this video down below in the comment section down below. How do you feel about Adam Peters' secret philosophy? Do you think it's helping Washington dominate free agency or what? Leave it down below in the comment section. As always, me and boy Juan Gotti. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. One road to 9,000 subscribers, so we greatly appreciate if we reach that goal as soon as possible. We like 10 away from 9,000, so help me get there, man. I love y'all, Slim. Y'all have a good one. Stay safe, be easy out there. Peace.
Heard that they were in the picture, and you see the way these guys play. Whether you're across, or whether you're across the sideline from, or you're watching on TV. It's something intangible that you can see. How these guys play, the way they fly around, the way they get to the ball, the energy that they playing with, how they're playing for one another. You know what I mean? How they playing for these coaches, how everything's just in tandem. And, obviously, you got a guy like Dan Quinn, man, it's hard not to want to run through a brick wall for him, for sure. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so all of that, I saw all of that from the outside in, man, and I wanted to be a part of it. And, man, look at God.
Yeah, look at God. Amen. God is good all the time.
So I'm so glad to be here, man. I'm so glad to contribute, to the team and meet the fellas.
Man, that's so cool to hear you say that you had that perspective about Dan Quinn and this team. Because, again, you're on the outside looking in. You have your own career. You were with the Saints, and you actually played us. So was it the game where you played us where you got to see it? Or is that kind of the conversation around the league now with what's being built here, what Dan Quinn and AP have done? Is that kind of the conversation around the league?
100%. 100%. So that was already the narrative before. And, all week, as far as when I was with my previous team, all week in preparations, like that was one of the key notes, outside of the X's and O's, outside of the players, it's, the culture there. They're coming with culture, that culture of energy, that culture of, they're putting, guys are coming out there, man, and just letting it loose and just playing for one another. Obviously, there's preparation that goes into it. There's, game planning that goes into it, but outside of all of that, man, you see a team that, is high energy. You see a team that, guys are playing for one another, man. Every time they cross the paint in the end zone, man, it's a celebration, which is great, man. You want to celebrate that success, guys lifting each other up, good plays, guys lifting each other up, and, whatever. If there's a negative play, which there are in every game, guys are rallying around each other, man. And, when I was out there, on the other side, when we played them, when we played the team last year, all those things were evident. Yeah. All those things were evident. I'm sitting out there watching it firsthand. You know what I mean? A negative play might happen and guys are rallying around each other. That's a psychological, upside that you can have. Like, that's an attribute that you can have. And, man, everything that I've seen, about this place has been so impressive, man. And I'm extremely humbled to be here, man, and that this organization trusts me to come in and, bring my energy. You know what I mean? Yeah. I wear that on my sleeve, man. I take a lot of pride in being able to turn on the tape and see the way I play, see me running around, flying around, and and uplifting my teammates. So I'm excited.
This team was building last year. To see what Coach Quinn has put together here, the energy that this locker room has, his team has played with last year, it's hard not to want to be a part of that.
For you to make a name for yourself out here and show the world why you deserve this bag, why you deserve this trust that this organization gave you?
Because I'm that guy, for real, bro. I'm that guy. It ain't too many cats like me. And I can say that confidently. Most of these dudes ain't been through what I've been through, bro. It ain't even about proving nothing to nobody but my family and myself. The fans, they gon', you know what I mean? They gon' get to see it too.
Ballin' like I'm Deshaun, throw the bomb, G. That's IG, my jersey never seen a line.